Mom gave birth to me when she was 17. Yeah, I know how that sounds. From what I've heard, she used to sleep around so much in high school that she doesn't even know who my father is. But she eventually found out, and I can't believe this well-known former YouTuber is my father. As a woman in her teens, she was definitely not willing to raise a child. But my grandparents didn't allow her to get an abortion. As a result, she was forced to take care of me. She was the opposite of a good mother. If I was crying, she would put on loud music and pretend that didn't exist. There were nights when I had to go to bed hungry because she refused to breastfeed me and I wouldn't eat anything else. Thankfully, my grandparents noticed this and took me under their care. My mother was happy to stay away from me and went back to her type of lifestyle. She moved out into a dorm to prepare for college. My grandmother took proper care of me at home and my grandfather would take me to the park often. He had a surgery done on his hip, so he wasn't able to move that much, but always made sure to play with me. I consider them my real parents and will always be grateful to them. When I was 4 years old, they hired a babysitter to take care of me because they had to attend a wedding. On their way back, they had a terrible accident and unfortunately didn't make it. As a kid at the time, I didn't know that my life was about to become a living hell. I cried for days and days. The house was in my mother's name, so she moved back. It's like she was happy that her parents were gone, because she began having late night parties in the house literally a week later. She became the queen of her college because she had an empty house where everyone could hang out and do substances. At that time I still wasn't over the passing of my real parents, so I would cry violently in my room. Sometimes my cries would reach downstairs and I guess her friends asked about it because she would barge into my room with anger on her face and put tape over my mouth. Then she would proudly say, "If you keep crying, I'll throw you out the window." So I would cover my mouth with my hands and cry with a muffled voice. I remember having to beg her for food because she would always be hungover. After a few months of this kept repeating, she became fed up with me and took me to another state. I was excited because I thought we were finally going to spend time as a family. Guess what she did? She left me on the front door of an orphanage and drove off. Little did she know that would be the start of her downfall. I thought I got left on the door of an orphanage, but it turns out some big African American man was taking care of me now. He gave me a cupcake and he was very nice. He introduced himself as EDP 445.